Hey guys, Jim and Eric here, and we're going to be talking to you today about Jennifer's Body. I'm going to keep the premise to this one pretty simple, and it's basically a horror comedy film that follows two really hot high school girls, one who's possessed by a demon, and the other one who's battling to try and stop her. So let's talk about these two hot high school girls, shall we?
Yes, shall we?
Megan Fox, Amanda Seyfried.
That's right. Well, Megan Fox obviously plays the title role. And, you know, she's a little better than expected because, you know, she's hot, don't get me wrong, beautiful to look at, and on a pure swing factor it works. And she has, you know, some facility with the dialogue in the movie. Amanda Seyfried is, you know, more of the plain Jane of the two. They kind of ugly her up a little bit for this movie. But, you know, they have chemistry together, but it's only when their characters actually have to, I don't know, do stuff in the movie that it starts to fall apart.
Yeah, we'll talk about the chemistry. There's that one big scene that everybody here is probably aware of. We have the clip here on IGN.com. It's the big girl-on-girl kiss between the two of them.
Right, and, you know, yeah, it's nice to watch and all that, but it's not shocking. They've been playing it up as for having shock factor, and maybe 10, 15 years ago it would, but you can see that sort of thing now in basic cable shows.
So how do you think this movie then fares against, you know, other horror movies out there?
That's not a good horror movie. It's mediocre, run-of-the-mill, has no scares in it. There's nothing really original about it. No inventive kills. So in a horror movie level, it's a flop.
Yeah, I'd have to agree actually, and I think the diehard horror fans are going to walk out going, meh, but teenagers might connect with it, and I think a lot of that has to do with the dialogue, because the film was written, of course, by Diablo Cody, right?
Yeah, she won an Oscar for writing Juno, so she likes to think she has an ear for teenagers now. I think we're all kind of maybe in agreement that teenagers don't really talk like that,
Yeah.
but it certainly makes for, you know, some entertaining and very funny one-liners. But the thing is that the dialogue is so stylized in this movie, it almost sounds like a Diablo Cody wannabe wrote it instead of Diablo Cody. And it's so sort of arch and self-conscious and obvious, and so many pop culture references that it kind of just has a numbing effect after a while.
Yeah, that hyper reality really did tend to pull me out at certain moments, but I gotta admit, I did laugh at just the right times when they wanted me to laugh sometimes.
Yeah, it had a few good singers in there, it really did, and it helped elevate the movie above just the sort of other run-of-the-mill teenage horror movies.
So as the editor providing the official review for the film, why don't you give us your star rating and your final thoughts?
I'm going to give it 2.5 stars, and that's based purely on the hotness factor of the two leading ladies and Diablo Cody's one-liners, a few of them. You know, it's ultimately, it's not scary enough or original enough to be good as a horror movie, so it doesn't work as that. It doesn't really work as a comedy or a satire as much as it would like to think it is. And it doesn't really work as a social commentary, which they kind of half-assed try to do. So overall, it's not enough of anything, and I wish it had been just a pure train wreck, so that you could just enjoy it in a bad movie level. Instead, it's just mediocre.
Yeah, I'm going to add that this is definitely a horror film for the MySpace set, not the true horror fan.
Right.
So there you have it. For more Jennifer's Body coverage, be sure to check out movies.ign.com.